All right, hi you guys. Sorry that I couldn't be there today. I wanted to give you a quick 5-minute video on how to complete the very last part of your math portfolio reflection sheet. So you should have your MAP goal setting worksheet in front of you. Hopefully the sub passed that out. And I want to make sure you understand how to read that sheet. And what that worksheet shows you. So we basically in seventh grade look at 4 different topics for MAP math testing: algebra, geometry, number systems, and statistics and probability. And what you see here in front of you is more of a breakdown of what kind of math skills fall under each of those topics. So, for example, algebra involves expressions, equations, and inequalities. Geometry involves shapes, angles, volume, and surface area. Real and complex number systems involve fractions, decimals, ratios, percents, rates, and integers. And stats and probability is mean, median, mode, range, quartiles, box and whisker plots, scatter plots, and circle graphs. And where might you see those on your MAP scoring sheet? Well, for for a seventh grade student, you're going to see each of those 4 topics in this general area. What you're looking at here is actually an elementary school student's um, worksheet, and so the different topics that they're tested on are a little bit different than ours. But you see number sense, stats and probability, algebra, and then here's geometry. So what I'd like for you to do is take a look at your worksheet that the sub handed out for you. And what I want you to understand is that on your worksheet where you see green highlighting, that says that those specific areas are strengths for you. And if you have any areas that are highlighted in yellow, that means that it's a possible area of concern. When you take a look at this bar graph here, the score that you see at the top of the bar graph is your actual math score or MAP score, and that should kind of match up. If you take a look at this overall score, that's really what you see on the bar graph. This little dotted line here is what we call your projected score. It's like what we're hoping will happen over time and after there is growth. All right. So using this goal setting worksheet, I'd like you to keep that in front of you. And I want you to think about one area that's a possible concern for you. That would either be something that's in yellow or maybe you have nothing highlighted at all. So thinking about these math topics, algebra, geometry, number systems, and stats and probability, looking at what's asked of you in those areas, what would you like to choose as your goal area, something that you'd like to improve upon? Because what you're now going to do is pick the topic that you'd like to improve, and you're going to write a goal for how you can use our district's math resources to help you to make improvements in that area. All right, so here's a list of our math resources that we use. And then here's an example of a goal that you might be setting. So you basically want to say my area for improvement is, and that's where you're going to either write algebra, number sense or number systems, geometry, or stats and probability. And then I want you to explain how you're going to now monitor that goal. And so I think it's pretty reasonable to use like your nightly homework as the piece that's kind of telling you how you're doing. So I wrote, if I make more than 2 mistakes on my homework, I will practice my skills using specific sections of Khan Academy and 10 Marks Jam sessions. Those 2 resources are probably our best resources, especially for math. But how do you know that you need help? I like, our daily homework as sort of our keeper of deciding if that's an area for improvement. So if you're making mistakes on homework, that should be telling you to use your resources. All right. The goal, you guys, is to improve in specific areas to increase our MAP scores even just by a couple of points. So in just a couple of minutes, you're going to do this. You're going to write a goal for the math topic based on your MAP scores. that you would like to improve and how you're going to use one of our resources, Study Island, School City, 10 Marks, or Khan Academy, to help you to improve that area. All right. The next thing that you're going to do, because you're going to write 2 goals today. So the second goal that you're going to write in a few minutes is based on the work habits that we looked at yesterday. I want you to think of those 6 different work habits and choose one area that you know you need to improve. And when you write a goal, I want to see specifically what you want to improve and how you're going to improve that. So for example, I want to improve the quality of my homework. I will use examples provided in the daily notes to complete problems the way they're modeled in class. All right, so we're setting a goal for one of these 6 work habit behaviors that we discussed yesterday in class. Okay, now you may be wondering, what are you going to do with those 2 goals after you write them? And this is where your reflection sheet comes in. So when you're done watching the video, what I'm going to ask you to do is go to the last page of your math reflection sheet that you started working on yesterday. And you're going to find this map goal setting in math. And what I'm going to ask you to do is, using the information that's on the worksheet in front of you, you're going to write in your score in this yellow section. You're going to either put an X or a check mark in one of these areas that you wish to improve. So these are those math topics that we talked about. And then in the blue section, that's where you're going to write your 2 goals. So your first goal is going to be the topic that you chose and how you'll use resources to improve. And you're going to write that in this blue section. And the second thing you're going to write in that blue section is, what behavior did you choose to improve upon and how will you improve it? All right. So that's what you guys are going to be doing now. As soon as the video is over, go ahead, pull up your reflection sheet and fill in the yellow, the gray, and the blue areas. The blue area, remember, is where you're going to write the 2 goals from earlier in the video. And that's really all that I have for you for today. When you're all done with that, see the sub who will have a little Find the Errors worksheet handout for you. And when you're done with that,